This video is brought to you by Straight Goods News, Canada's alternative online news source. Visit straightgoods.ca.
If you're a typical Canadian, you've probably had the experience of going for a walk and seen some litter beside your street or road. You bent down to pick it up and you found one of these. And that's bad enough. But then you look inside it and you find all these disgusting, stinky butts inside. What a perfect metaphor for the Stephen Harper Conservatives and their approach to governing, their Trojan horse, garbage truck, omnibus, budget bill full of all kinds of stinky, stealthy stuff that they snuck in there in the dead of night when they thought nobody was looking. And they're not the only government doing this kind of thing. In Ontario, they've got a big budget bill too called Bill 55. And it's full of stinkers, like for instance, Schedule 28. You probably haven't heard much about it, but Schedule 28 will allow the Ontario government, ministers of the Ontario government, to privatize pretty much anything in Ontario at will. Service Ontario, for instance, is one of the targets for privatization we're talking about, responsible for driver's licenses and such. It brings in $2.7 billion a year into the Ontario economy. It only costs $270 million to run. But some genius thought up the idea of selling it off. And then once you sell it off under WTO and GATS and CETA, you can't take it back and into the public sector again. You're just not allowed to do that stuff. And Service Ontario, their database is full of everybody's personal information. Pretty soon, Homeland Security in the United States is going to have all that stuff. Yeah, it's amazing what you can put in one of these omnibus bills. Now take this federal Trojan horse garbage truck bill. It's going to force us all to work 2 more years before we retire. It's going to take money out of the pockets of the unemployed. It trashes decades of federal experience in virtually every scientific field. And it rolls back environmental law and legislation by 50 years. It throws thousands of skilled professionals out on the bricks, and it's going to force them to compete for low-wage, minimum-wage jobs. Oh, it's a real danger and a stinker. So this week, of course, here in this building, the MPs are going to be voting on this bill, and because the Conservatives have a majority, very likely it's going to pass. But the opposition parties are putting up a good fight. They're going to be filibustering all night on Wednesday and Thursday night. Green Party leader Elizabeth May has come into the spotlight because, due to her independent status, she alone is able to propose over 300 amendments to the bill. She's really taking the spotlight on this, more to her credit. The other opposition parties, the NDP and the Liberals, have put up hundreds of more amendments. So this is going to go on and on. And as I say, Conservatives will probably win in the end, but you never know. Somebody might get sleepy, somebody might sneak off. You never know, and it could result in a confidence vote. So let's hope. And in the meantime, talk it up. Talk it up to your friends and neighbors, write letters to the editors, call phone-in shows, and then get ready for a couple of long nights of debate over the future of the country. Pour yourself a mug in a reusable cup, settle down,